I would like to talk about the use of robots and the potential of robots in schools, in pedagogy, in teaching. I've experienced many cases where robots, especially when you bring robot kits, where you build robots like Lego robots into the classroom, and if you ask the children, the students, to build robots, this is an excitement you have never seen before. Robots are really motivating. Robots are real. Robots are physically. You can touch them. They are running on your tables. They are doing certain tasks. They follow a certain black line. They are following a certain red line, and they maybe have obstacles to avoid. So I've seen a lot of kids motivated in building these robots, and you know, the effect is that the interest in the so-called STEM subjects, that is natural sciences, mathematics, these subjects, is growing a lot. I think one of the problems we face is that these natural sciences and mathematics subjects are not so much beloved by children. So I feel if we can do something to counteract this deficit, to make students and pupils and kids fond of robots, this has an impact on our society, because we need engineers, we need scientists. Robots is a way to motivate children. It's much better than textbooks. It's much better than looking at videos or any content on the internet, because you can build the robots and you can do something. You can program these robots, and you can maybe even do some competitions with robots. I know there are many groups doing competitions. Now, of course, this needs a certain pedagogical background. So it's not only to ask the kids, the students, to build these robots, but you have to tell them and you have to ask them to do some exercises for them. For example, to do some measurements or to do some calculations, and all of a sudden it's fun to do this. I think there are several side effects. The first one is, I've noticed, and it's my experience, even preschool children, kindergarten children get excited with robots. They don't have Lego robots. They don't have these robots to build, but what they can do is they can build robots out of carton, out of paper, and glue, and color them, and give them hair maybe. And this is a very nice exercise I've seen in preschool groups, where the kids are getting used to think about robots and what these robots can do and they can't do. I think this is a very important entrance of robotics in our society, because we expect robots in the future to be one of the important, innovative commodities in our society. At home, at work, in the factory, we will see robots everywhere. Some may not look like humanoid robots, but they are robots. They may be having 4 wheels. So in order to prepare for this, for the future, one should start early enough, and preschool, kindergarten children are probably a very good idea to start with them some projects where the robots are given names, and they have to have some exposition of these paper-cut robots. So I was talking about side effects. One is with girls. We have a specific problem that girls in particular believe, or the parents of these girls believe, that they are not ready for mathematics and natural sciences. So then this is some sort of, sometimes they claim it's a genetic defect. I don't believe it. And I've seen, if girls are working with robots, there's for example the competition of robot dancing. I will explain this how it works. I've seen many girls being really excited about building robots on the same structure of these Lego robots. And this robot dancing is something like this. It is the girls have to build teams, and they have to build robots usually on moving wheels. So there's a structure with the moving, and it's programmed. And it's on top of that there's a puppet. So I've seen examples where, let's say, Hansel and Gretel, the fairy tale, is being done with robots. But these girls are programming, they are building these robots, they are putting the puppets, and then there's a stage. The stage has music effects, it has lightning, there's a curtain, and so it's like a stage performance of these robots. And it is Hansel and Gretel, and there's a lot of fun and excitement and applause for everybody. And there are teams who think of new background stages and any type of new reasons to build something, like with puppets, with any type of drama and any theater stage. So this is all where girls, I've seen hundreds of girls in one hall building these robots, and when it's their turn, they go to the stage, they set up the stage, and the robots run, and then there's a lot of excitement with music background. Also, when it's not working, everybody is laughing. The second side effect is from the past, at least in Germany, I know engineers, to become an engineer was for many families the only way to lift up in the society. When the problem is that many children are not going to university because their parents were thinking that they are not clever enough. And the idea is that we need more engineers, but we also could attract maybe engineers from socially problematic society stratas, or from migrants, for example, in order to give them the opportunity to become an engineer. They could maybe lift in the society up, and then create a family, or start a family, which then again perpetuates itself and is more affluent at the end. So I've seen special classes where specifically students and pupils from migrant families and impoverished families are given, especially, for example, a summer school where they are supposed to work with robots, because robots do create this excitement, and because the robots are visible and you can touch them, and it is visible what you do, and it is immediately visible when you do robots better. The progress in working on robots is visible. That's one of the pedagogically very important effect. So I think there are many ways how robots could be placed into the schools. They are part of maybe some sort of also a new pedagogy, where it's the so-called constructivist pedagogy, where students can also start their own ideas. They can build their own. They have to solve problems, maybe, and they have to. They are not given the solution. They have to find the solution. I guess this is one of the most important new ideas in pedagogy, the so-called constructivist pedagogy, where the students have to learn how to learn. And doing this with robots is probably one of the strengths, much more than working with paper or even computer, because of the enormous excitement robots bring about. I think there are many other possibilities to bring the youth to robots. One is the going to museums or going to science fairs where robots are seen. Especially, I think we have to show also what the robots indeed are able to do. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of the manufacturers of robots? And what is the current state of the art? Many people know robots only from science fiction films, and very often, in most of the cases, this is pure fiction. Those robots do not exist, at least not yet, and probably not for the foreseeable future, because these robots are purely science fiction. We are anticipating robots in our society which help to create jobs, so that the productivity is growing in fields like agriculture, in fields like healthcare, in manufacturing. We would like to have more jobs in manufacturing. So robots, at least the new type of robots, these service robots, can help doing this. And there is a potential that the youngsters, when they learn about this, they are much more open. Especially also they identify interdisciplinary work. They realize only a team can build a robot, because we need specialists on sensors, we need specialists on programming, specialists on control. There are so many participants in such a team. So this is what they learn. They learn to work in a team. And they also understand what a robot can do and what a robot can't do. So they are appreciating what maybe a robot can do in cleaning a house, or a robot in working in a factory. And I think they have to know that these new robots in the factory are different from the industrial robots in, let's say, car manufacturing. In car manufacturing, the robots are basically working repetitively, always the same motion. They weld something, they move something, they weld something, they move something, and this goes on and on. No, the new robots in industry, helping us in many branches like textile or shoe production, is where the robots are helping the worker. And this may be a new potential also for identifying jobs for the youngsters. So I'm very confident that bringing robotics into schools will open up a huge range of ideas and motivation for the youngsters. Thank you very much.